about what happened to me. Oh, it was one of the games out here, and we were playing in twilight. And Luke Behar, first inning, I was out throwing, and the team was both teams were kind of amped up to play each other. I'm not sure what team it was. Could have been Phil Moyer, I'm not sure. And so the first batter comes up, and I throw a couple of pitches, and all of a sudden Behar comes walking out and pops that ball at me. And I thought, oh, Putchke. I called him Putchke. He's pretty pumped up right now. And then the next batter comes up, and something happens, and he comes firing out at me. And then the third batter comes up, and of course everybody's yelling and screaming, and I'm so amped up, I'm really not even paying attention to why Putchke's all amped up. And I throw a pitch, and it was twilight, and I guess I'd been crossing him up the whole first inning because I couldn't see and I wouldn't wear my glasses. And he was mad about that. And he was saying because some girl was there to watch, and so I had to look cool and wouldn't put my glasses on. I couldn't see those short little fingers of his anyway. Anyway, I thought he called a rise. He called a down ball with no balls and 2 strikes or 1 and 2. The ball came in and pop, hit him right here in the chest. He jumped up, threw that runner out, and he's over in the other dugout. He's just yelling at me, just screaming at me. I'm just mad. He didn't want to get near me. He's afraid he's going to punch me out, I'm sure. So the whole game, we're going back and forth this whole game, and finally he put tape, and I couldn't see the tape on his fingers. So finally I said I'd call the pitches. And the first pitch I called, I think it was a rise drop and maybe a change up here or something. I called it my mitt. All he had to do was put one finger down, he put straight fingers down her fist. He called the wrong side. He called the wrong side. I shake my head, and he comes firing out. He's still mad. This is 5th or 6th inning now. He's still mad. He goes, now he can't call the right side of the plate. So the whole game, and it's a tight ball game. I think it's like 2-0. And 7th inning, I think there was 1 or 2 outs. Must have been 2 outs with it, and got a runner on base. But the runner went to still second, and I got down like, the catcher, they have guns. They just throw the ball right. And I got down like this, and as I guess Putchke double pump, and I kind of came popping up like this. And the beanie on your hat, the old friend hat, the beanie. The ball hit me right in the beanie part of the hat. Went out to left field. Paul Cavan, he'll remember this. The runner went second, went to third base. Cavan picked the ball up and almost got the runner on third base. I'm on the mound. I'm staggering all over the place. I almost blacked out. I ended up getting the batter out, and Behar's happy. We're friends after that.
Hit you on top of the head.
Hit me on top of the head. You want to one up that one?
Well, I don't know if a fella could one up that one, but I was playing in Lake Tahoe, Nevada. What year would that be? Do you have any idea?
It was in the late 80s.
Late 80s.
I'm sure, yeah.
We're playing the...
probably 87, something like that.
I think the first game of the tournament, first or second game. Might have been the second game because I'm thinking I already lost one game. We're in the loser's bracket. Runner on third base. And Butch Dickey was playing first base for some reason instead of center field. I don't know why we had somebody 2'3" at first base. But anyway, instead of center field, he was at first base. I evidently had got an out, and he was walking back over towards the mound to hand me the ball. Maybe he didn't trust himself throwing it that far. It was about 20 feet. But as out of the corner of the eye, he said later he seen the guy leading off third base. And since the ball wasn't in the circle, he didn't have to be back on the base. Well, I bent down to get some rosin, and I never got back up. Something hit me in the side of the face. My first thought was, it must have been one of my ex-wives, jumped out of the stands and hit me with a lead pipe. But I looked down around, and there's the ball, and Butch, as I bent down, he didn't see me, so he went ahead and threw to pick the runner off.
So you bent down and kept like that, and
I bent down, and
Butch was right. He was right there.
And we're the same height, with me on one knee and him walking. We're about the same height.
Little Barty just fired the ball.
Fired the ball.
Where'd he hit you?
In the cheekbone, loosened 2 of my teeth, blackened 1 of my eyes. My nose is bleeding. And they said, well, you got to come out of the game. I said, well, I figure if I come out, I'd never get to pitch again. So I didn't want to lose my spot in the rotation. So I said, well, go get me an apple. A timeout. Somebody had an apple. I bit into the apple, and I realized my cheek wasn't broke, but her jaw wasn't broke. I found out later I had a fractured cheekbone, but I didn't. I could chew on that apple. And I said, but the nice part of my team was very sympathetic to me having this injury. Because for the next, we played 7 or more games, ended up playing 9 games for the weekend and winning it. But as I looked down to get the sign, my eye would go shut. And the catcher felt so bad for me, he started calling me Cyclops.
Who was the catcher?
Donald Storr.
Donald
Storr calling me Cyclops. So I said, I don't know if that's a one-upper, but that was a little bigger than getting nicked on the top of the beanie.
Well,